إذا الأمجاد قد عظمت فللأمجاد بانيها ومن يسعى إلى العليا سيدركها بما فيها ويبني مجده جذلا فروح الفذ يعليها ليصبح همة تروي عن العليا مغانيها.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the K-Way Math Show with me, your presenter, Mohammed Kota, here at the ITV studios here in Johannesburg. Now, I just want to say a warm welcome to all our viewers from across the world. We ran a Ramadan special where we ran programming every day from Monday to Thursday from 3:30 to 4:30, as most of you know. And these shows were broadcasted across the world. And I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to all the viewers from all over South Africa, from Cape Town, from Durban, from Newcastle, from all our 9 provinces in this beautiful country of ours. And these shows were beamed across the world, right up to North Africa. And as you all know, if you're all watching the show, you know that we had callers from Ethiopia, we had callers from Somalia, we had callers from all over Africa. So for all our viewers that are watching the K-Way Math Show, who are enjoying it, I'd like to say thank you so much. We'd also like to say thank you to all the viewers, those who posted questions on our live show, as well as those who have ordered the DVD sets and we had them dispatched, and the good feedback that we got from them, as well as all those callers who have emailed us to say thank you for the show. And because of that, we have now decided to extend the show. Now, boys and girls, we are now, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, we're here, inshallah, to continue with the show. We want to pull the show right through across for all grades, for grade 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. At the moment, we are focusing on the grade 11s and 12s. We ended our last show with sequences and series, and we ended with sequences. Now, please do not, just a point of note to all our viewers, that on our live show, we do very different content from the series of shows that we have been shooting. Now, for all those of you who have missed any of our previous shows, please go onto the website, itvnetworks.tv. Click on the K-Way icon. All the previous episodes will be uploaded. Double click on the episode and you can watch those episodes at your leisure. Now, we ended up with our pre-recordings with sequences. Now, we started with sequences and series, and this is purely only for grade 12s. So I want the grade 12s today to pay attention and to focus. Please also notice the change of times. Guys, we are not shooting every day. We're not shooting Monday to Thursday like we did. That was only a Ramadan special. This is post-Ramadan. Go onto the website, check the new times for the programming, check our new slots, and make sure you diarize it and make sure that you get yourself hooked onto ITV. So stay tuned to our show. Where did we end? We ended up with sequences. We did type 1, we did type 2, we did arithmetic, we did geometric. We're now going on to series. Guys, pay attention. This is purely grade 12 work. So let's get started. Let's get started with our topic here on series. Now, we explained to you what the difference was between a sequence and a series. To refresh your memory, to recap on our last program, we said a sequence is separated by a semicolon. So we're finding a term or the number of terms. When we deal with series, guys, we are summing the series. So when you have a number pattern and you want to find out what is the total of that series, that is called, when you sum a sequence, it is called a series. And a separate formula. Now, if you watched our last show, you would notice that I gave you a mind map. I gave you a mind map for finite and infinite. Finite was broken up into 2 parts, arithmetic and geometric. Infinite was broken up into 2 parts, convergent and divergent. We had a whole variety of formula. If you don't have the formula, I'm not going to put up the formula again. Go onto our website, go onto the previous show, take down the mind map. Please make sure that you start recording these shows. Okay, so let's get started with series. Now, we know series is separated by a plus or minus sign, or they're going to use the word sum of, or a total of. So let's get started with type 1. Type 1 in series, what would it look like? I tell you 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus dot 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 dot. Let's go. Okay, let's go up to 20, plus 20. Okay, the question in exam, this is type 1. How would it appear in exam? Grade 12 only. Question. They give you a series and they tell you find the sum of the series. How many marks? 6 marks. Okay, so they give you a series here, 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus, and they give you the last term. Now many of you will say, oh, very nice, no problem, so easy. We've got 2, 5, 8, and we've got the last term, and we had a formula if the last term was given. So many of you would go directly into your last term formula. So what would you do? You would then go Sn equals n over 2 into a plus l, because last term is given. That's what most of you would do. Now you would say Sn equals n over 2, a is 2, my last term, a being your first term, L being your last term, plus 20. But now you got a problem. Sn equals n over 2 into 2 plus 20, 22. Okay, so Sn is equal to n into 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 22, 11 times. So you got n into 11. You've got a problem. You don't have n. How do we find n? Now remember, this is a sum formula. You don't have n. You don't know. Summing of how many terms? You don't know yet. How do we find n? Watch. We know the number 20 is the last term. And for example, if I found out that the number 20 is the 17th term in the sequence, and it is the last term, or in the series, and it is the last term, hence how many terms are there? 17. I said number 20 is the 17th term and the last term. So common sense tells you what number is it in the series? 17. So hence we need to find out what number is 20 in the series. And how do we find what number is it? We don't use the Sn formula. We use the Tn formula. So let's go. Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 times d. That's why it's 6 marks, guys. This year is only worth 1, 2, 3 marks. Your next 3 marks will come using your Tn formula, and that will give you your total of your 6 marks. So let's go into Tn. We're going to find out what number is 20. So we're now going to say Tn, 20, the value of your last term, is equal to a, which is 2, plus n minus 1. We are finding n, so we leave it unknown. Our common difference from 2 to get to 5 is plus 3. From 5 to get to 8 is plus 3. So we know it's arithmetic. We know it's arithmetic. That's why we used our arithmetic series here. Your common difference being 3. So 20 is equal to 2 plus, we multiply that out, we get 3n minus 3. 20 is equal to 3n. 2 minus 3 minus 1. 3n is equal to 20 plus 1, 21. N is equal to 7. Right? 21 divided by 3 is 7. Now we've got n. Now we've got n. N is now how much? 7. That means 20 is the last term, and there are 7 terms in the series. Now we need to find the sum. So, because that's the question, find the sum of the series. So here we go. S7 is equal to 7 into 11. So S7 is equal to 7 times 11, 77. Guys, that's your final answer, and this would be type 1. Very popular question, guys. Very, very popular question. Asked many times. Go through all your past papers. Go through your textbook. You will always find this type of a question. Now, the only difference, if this was geometric, this was arithmetic, they might ask you in terms of geometric. They might tell you 1, 3 over 2, 9 over 4, 27 over 8, 81 over 16, going on to infinity, find the sum of the series. The only difference, guys, is that you won't be using your arithmetic formula and your Tn formula for arithmetic. You'll be using your Sn formula for geometric from your formula sheet or from the mind map from the previous episode that I gave you, and the Tn formula for geometric. Okay? Let's look. Let's do type 1. This was arithmetic, so we'll put here arithmetic. Let's do one with geometric. let's do one in terms of geometric. So you'd say, okay, Mr. K, we want to see what does a geometric one look like. This was arithmetic. We're now going on to geometric. So please make sure you are recording these shows. Please make sure if you don't have a PVR and you're not recording these shows, that you're going back onto the itvnetworks.tv website. Go click on the KWay icon, click onto our repeat episodes, and make sure you go over them over and over and over again. Remember, you need to master this. You need to know this by memory. These are templates. Okay, these are not just work examples, guys. These are exam style questions, and these are templates. Let's look at type 1. We're still under type 1 because it's the same style, but only not under arithmetic, now under geometric. Okay? Right, let's now go under geometric. So let's do type 1, geometric. So now I tell you, we get 1, 3 over 2, 9 over 4, plus going on to infinity. And I tell you that we have it equal to 8. It has a last term. Oh, we tell you that the sum of this here, we got 3 over 2. 3 over 2 is 1.5. 1, 5. 9 over 4. 9 over 4. Let's work out what is 9 over 4. 9 divided by 4 equals 2,25. So we got 1.5, 2,25. Let's say 8,75, for example. Right? Plus 8,75. We're just making it up. Let's see. Does it work? Doesn't it work? I'm making it up as we go along. Remember, mathematics is just about chopping and changing numbers. But you follow the same process. So you can make up any number provided it makes sense and your calculator doesn't give you an error at the end. We don't know. This one gives us an error, bombed out. Okay, find the sum of the series. Find the sum of the series. Let's pray. Let's hope it works. Okay, the same thing now. Now we know that this is geometric. So Sn, we now need to find R. Let's find your common ratio. Right, 1 times what will give me 3 over 2? 1 times 3 over 2 will give me 3 over 2. 3 over 2 times 3 over 2 will give me 9 over 4. So obviously you know your next term here is going to be times 3 over 2, which is going to be 9 times 3 is 27 over 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, they're not asking you to extend, but I'm just showing you that it's a geometric series. Okay, so R is 1,5, 3 over 2, which is equal to 1,5. Now we know R is greater than 1. So Sn, our formula when R is greater than 1, if R is greater than 1, then what is our formula? Sn equals A into R to the power n minus 1 over R minus 1. Again, Sn is equal to A, first term, 1, into R, 3 over 2, to the power n, minus 1 over R 3 over 2 minus 1. Again, what am I short of? I'm short of n. It's exactly the same as our previous one. Okay, guys, what I'd like you to do, we're cutting now for a 3-minute ad break. What I'd like you to do, I want you to complete it. You've got your books, complete it, do it exactly like we did the previous one, but do it for geometric. I'll give you the solution after the break. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the KWay Math Show with me, your presenter and host Muhammad Kota from the KWay Institute here in Johannesburg. Now, before we cut for the ad break, guys, we were dealing with series and we are dealing with grade 12 series. We broke off with type 1 geometric. They gave you the series and they said find the sum of the series. I told you continue with this problem and let's see whether you and I got the same solution. Okay, so now we are short of n. We used our Sn formula. We don't have n. We don't know how many terms we have. What did I tell you? We use our last term for geometric and we solve for n. So we now go Tn is equal to AR to the power n minus 1. And many of you might be smiling right now because you know you got it right. Okay, probably you didn't get it right the whole year, and as a result of this show, you are now getting it right and it's boosting your confidence. That's where we want you to be. Guys, at the end of the show, at the end of this series of shows, you need to be fully prepared for that exam. Okay, so let's go. Tn is equal to AR to the power n minus 1. So what is Tn? We're going to use our last term, 8,75 is equal to A, my first term 1. R is 3 over 2, my common ratio, to the power n minus 1. Guys, what alphabet are we looking for? We're looking for n. Okay, now 8,75. Watch this now. This is the tricky part. 1 times any number will stay the same. So 3 over 2 is 1,5 to the power n minus 1. We now have n in our power. And which rule in mathematics allows the power to become the base? Now, grade 12s, you know, by this time, this is a log question. Because you need to attach a log to make the power the subject of the formula. So now we use logs. We attach logs. So we're now going to attach a log here. And we're going to attach a log there. So watch what's going to happen now. We're now going to say log 8,75 is equal to log 1,5 to the power n minus 1. Why are we attaching a log on both sides? To make the power the subject of the formula. Because logs is the only rule in mathematics that allows you to make the power the subject of the formula. So, let's bring the power. Let's bring the power to the front. Now, I'm just going to bring it on the left. I'm swapping the sides around. So watch. N minus 1 log 1,5 is equal to log 8,75. A equals B or B equals A, exactly the same thing. All I'm doing, I'm swapping the two sides around. Okay, so n minus 1 is equal to log 8,75 divided by log 1,5 because it's an equation. Remember, I divide the left, what I do on the left, I do on the right, divided by log 1,5. So n will equal to, take the minus 1 on the other side, will become plus 1. So you will now be left with log 8,75 divided by log 1,5 plus 1. So n is equal to. Now we go to our calculators. I'm not going to tell you which brand of calculator. Please make sure you know that brand and you're using that brand. So let's go. Log 8,75 close brackets divided by log 1,5 close brackets equals, you get 5,349. So let's say 5,35. 5,35. This gives me 5,35 plus 1. So n is equal to 6,35. That's your n. N is 6,35. So now we know we can approximate it. We can say n is approximately the sixth term. So now we say S6. We now take that n and we substitute it in there. So S6 is equal to, what do I have here? I've got 3 over 2, which is 1,5 to the power 6, because n is 6. So let's write that a bit bigger. Minus 1 over 3 over 2 is 1,5 minus 1. So this is equal to S6, the sum of this series. Let's write it neater here. Because we're not standing straight, sometimes the handwriting just starts going down that way. So let's go. S6 is equal to, let's go to our calculators, 1,5 close brackets to the power 6 minus 1 equals, divided by, we know 1,5 minus 1, 1.5 minus 1 is just a half. So divided by 0,5. And that will equal to 20,78. So your answer here is 20,78. So the sum of 6 terms, in this series would be approximately, it won't give you an exact figure. Why? Because we rounded it off. Remember, it was 6,3492723. We rounded it off to 6,35. We said approximately the sixth term. Okay, so this was type 1. We're now going to go on to type 2, and they're going to get progressively more difficult. So grade 12s, you need to stay focused, you need to pay attention, okay? And you need to practice it. And if you guys do have any questions, and you're still not sure, I want you guys to email us. Email us at kwaymath@gmail.com or post your comments on the website, itvnetworks.tv, and we'll respond to your questions on air, okay? Let's go. That was type number 1. We're now going to go into type 2. Let us know, I mean, last week I had a whole lot of questions. Some people said, sir, we don't understand circle. We're understanding everything that you've done in the show. When are you going to be doing circle geometry? Guys, circle geometry, you guys all know, you're all suffering with it. It's going to be coming up within the next couple of shows. So please make sure that you watch these shows regularly. Okay, so we've got series. We're now going on to type 2. Type 2 says, question, this is the style of the question, how many terms of the arithmetic sequence, 34, 40, 46, let's say 34, 40, 46, ... will sum to 1530. That's worth 6 marks. Answer. Okay. They say sequence. How many terms of the sequence will sum to 1530? So guys, what did I tell you? Is this a sequence problem or is this a series problem? It's a series. Why? Although they're using the word sequence, but they're using the word a sum of, or will sum to 1530. So it is series. So, and they're asking you how many terms. So what are they looking for? N. Is my last term given? No. From our mind map or from your formula sheet, we know we're going to go into Sn equals n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. My last term is not given. We would have used n over 2 into a plus l if last term was given. But we're not. We're using 2a plus n minus 1 times d for arithmetic. Why? Because the last term is not given. So that's the formula to use. So now, we are looking for n, but they're giving me the sum, 1530. So 1530 is equal to n over 2. How many terms? So we are looking for which alphabet? N. How many terms? We are looking for n. Into 2. A is how much? 34, your first term. Plus n minus 1 times d. What's your common difference? 34, 40, 46. 6. Okay, now we need to expand and we need to solve for n. So let's go. 1530 is equal to n over 2 into 2 times 34 is 68 plus 6 times n, 6n minus 6. Times this side by 2. Let's multiply this side by 2 to get rid of that 2. What I do on the right, I do on the left. So I multiply the left hand side also by 2. So 2 times 1530 is 3060 is equal to n into 6n plus 68 minus 6 is plus 62. So we got 3060 is equal to n times 6n, 6n squared plus 62n. That is a quadratic equation, guys. This is now a quadratic equation. Why? Because we have a square sign. So in a quadratic equation, we know the right-hand side must always be 0. So now what do we have? 6n squared plus 62n minus 3060 is equal to 0. We now can go into our factorization calculators, right? Go on to solve, go on to mode, solving an equation, ax squared plus bx plus c, and you're going to get your 2n values. If you don't have that calculator, then you're going to be using the quadratic formula. And you guys all know grade 11s and 12s. From grade 11, when you can't factorize that or you can't find the factors, you're going to be using minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So, factorize that, you're going to get two values, n is equal to or n is equal to something else. Let's go on to our calculator and let's use the factorization key. We go mode, equation, ax squared plus bx plus c, so that's option number 3. We go 6 plus 62, and the last one, negative 3060. And what do I get? I get n is equal to 18 on the dot, or n is equal to, second solution, negative 85 over 3. So these are our two solutions. Boys and girls, what do we know? Our number of terms. Can you ever have a negative number of terms in a sequence or a series? No. So that one is not valid. And here we go. So n is equal to 18 terms. So now you must say, therefore, 18 terms will sum, because they ask you how many terms will sum. So 18 terms, therefore 18 terms will sum to 1530. And there we go, boys and girls. That is your final answer. You will now get 6 marks for that. Please make sure you take this down, practice on it, make sure that you master it. We're cutting for an ad break. When we get back, we're continuing with series. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the K-Way Math Show with me, your presenter and host, Mohammed Kota from the K-Way Institute here in Johannesburg. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. We started off with series, all the different types. We're now on to type 3, grade 12s only. This is not for grade 11s or any grade lower than grade 12. So stay focused. Let's start. We're now going on to type 3. If you've got your pen and papers ready, you guys can take this question down. We've got 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 8 plus 3 plus 11. Find the sum of the first 50 terms. Now, this question can be broken up into 2 styles, guys. Pay attention and listen carefully. The first one, they could say, extend the series by 2 terms if it continues in the same pattern. So, let's extend by 2 terms. So, we've got 2, 3, 5, 3, 8, 3. So you can notice here that there are 2 separate sequences here. There are 2 separate series. We've got one where there is a common term of 3. Every alternate number is 3. And then we've got 2, 5, 8, 11. So now obviously we know 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 8 plus 3 plus 11 plus, what's the next number going to be? Obviously 3 plus, now we're going to go 11. What, guys, what is your common difference between 2, 5, 8, 11? So it's plus 3 also. Plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. Obviously your next term is going to be 11 plus 3, which is 14. So if the question asks, which it didn't ask in this case, but should it have asked in the exam, extend the pattern by 2 more terms if the series continues or behaves in the same manner, you would say 3 and 14. 3 plus 14. So you continued it. Find the sum of the first 50 terms of the above series. So now, we've got 2 series, guys. So we're going to find S25. Because we've got 50 terms, we're going to find 50 broken up into 2 separate series. So we've got 25 terms in the first series, and we've got 25 terms in the second series. And all we're going to do, we're going to add up. We're going to find the total, and at the end, we're going to add the 2 sums, and that will give us the total of the 2 series. So pay attention in our answer. Right, we're now going to do S25 in the first. We're going to do S25 in the second. At the end, we're going to add up these 2 values. So now, S25 in the first. What is the first series? We've got 2, 5, 8, 11. So obviously, it's arithmetic. S25 in your second, it's got a common value. It's got a common value of 3. So let's find out S25 in the first. S25 in the first, the last term is not given. So we're now going to go Sn equals n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d, because my last term not given. So S25 is equal to 25 over 2 into 2. What is a? 2 plus n minus 1, 25 minus 1 times, what's my common difference? 3. S25 is equal to 25 over 2 into 2 times 2 is 4 plus 25 minus 1 is 24. 24 times 3 is 72. 24, 48, 72. There we go. So S25 is equal to 25 over 2 into 72 plus 4, 76. So S25 is equal to, go to your calculators, we take 76, so we go mode, comp. We now say 76 times 25 equals, divide that by 2 equals, we get 950. And that is S25 in our first series. So we just substituted all our values and we get 950. We now go to S25 where it's got a common value of 3. So S25 in the second one is equal to 25, your number of terms, times 3. So 25 times 3 is 75. Now, this number could be anything. If this was 4, it would be 25 times 4. If this number was 8, it would be 25 times 8. In this case, it's also 3. So it's just purely coincidental that your common difference and your common value of your second series is the same. Like I'm saying, purely coincidental. Okay, so S25 is equal to 75. Therefore, your final answer, therefore S50, the sum of 50 terms, the sum of 50 terms, because that's what the question asked, find the sum of the first 50 terms. Therefore, the sum of the first 50 terms is equal to S25 in my first, which is 950, plus S25 in my second, 75. 950 plus 75, 1025. And there we go, guys. S50 is equal to 1025. And you would get 6 marks for that. 3 marks on this side, 3 marks on that side. It looks like a lot of calculation, but it's actually not. It's quite very easy. Okay, just split the two series up. Sometimes the first series could be arithmetic and the second series, every alternate one, could be geometric. Obviously, in the first one, how would you attack that one? You take S25 in your arithmetic, use your arithmetic formula. You take S25 in your geometric, use your geometric formula, add the two up, and you would get your total answer, or you would get your final answer. So this was type number 3. Let's go on to type 4 that you might see. We tried, I'm giving you practice. These are all exam style questions. These are all exam templates. So stay focused, pay attention. Okay? Just a reminder for those viewers who have just joined us, if you have missed anything or if you have missed the previous episodes, please make sure you go onto itvnetworks.tv, click on the KY icon. All our previous episodes have been uploaded. Double click, spend your time. Watch it over and over and over until you can master all this content. Okay, I'd also like to say to our viewers that are watching from abroad, welcome to the show. Welcome to South Africa. We're hoping to put, we had a stat, we had from statistics that we were 147 out of 148 countries. We are moving towards number 1 in the world, hopefully within the next 5 to 10 years. So keep your eyes focused, keep your eyes pinned on South Africa, watch this country grow. Okay, we're now going on to series, we're now going on to, I think we were on type 3, we now go on to type 4. Type 4 says, if Sn is equal to, let's say, 2n squared, let's say 4n squared plus 4n, right? Now they give you a sum formula. They tell you if Sn is equal to 4n squared plus 4n, find the 8th term. Find the 8th term. And that's also worth 6 marks. That's a question in the exam. Question type number 4 that you might see in your exam. If Sn is equal to 4n squared plus 4n, find the 8th term. Now there's many ways of attacking this problem. Now to find the 8th term, they're only giving you the sum formula. So if you might say, okay, I'll just take the 8 and plug it into there. No problem. You then going to get the sum of 8 terms. You want what is the value of that 8th term. And how are we going to do it? Here's an easy way of understanding it. Okay, I want you to picture something. I want you to imagine there are five kids. Forget about this problem. Say there are 5 children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 5 students. I say the sum of all their ages. The sum of all their ages is 100. So I tell you the sum of 5 people's ages is 100. I want to find out what is the 5th term. Right? Remember, that's T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. I want to know what's his value. But the sum of 5 terms is 100. And if I told you that the sum of 4 terms, say I told you that the sum of 4 terms is equal to 80. That means the sum of 5 terms is 100. The sum of 4 terms is 80. How old is he? 20. Obviously. How did you get it? You took S5 minus S4, which was 80, to give you what the fifth term was. So you took the sum of 5 people's ages to give you 100. You took the sum of 4 people's ages to get 80. So therefore, T5 is equal to 100 minus 80, which is 20. Now if you understand that concept, that the sum of 5 people's ages is 100, and the sum of 4 people's ages is 80, therefore S5 minus S4 will give you what the fifth term is. The same thing here, guys. They're giving me an SN formula. They're saying find the 8th term. What do you think is going to happen? We're going to take S8 minus S7. Obviously, using this concept. So watch what's going to happen. We're now going to say S8, and then we're going to do S7, because S8 minus S7 will give me T8, my 8th term. So let's see whether you guys can do it. I'm going to do the S8 formula. We're about to cut for a break, so I'm going to expect you to complete it. So S8 is equal to 4 into 8 squared plus 4 into 8. So S8 is equal to 8 squared is 64 times 4 is 256 plus 32. S8 is equal to 288. So we got S8, guys. S8 is 288 by substituting 8. S7, guys. S7 is equal to 4 into 7 squared plus 4 into 7. So S7 is equal to, right, I want you to complete this. We're now cutting for an ad break. I want you to continue with this problem. You got 3 minutes. When we get back from the ad break, I will give you the memo. Enjoy your break, boys and girls. Boys and girls, welcome back to the K-Way Math Show here on ITV in Johannesburg, in our Johannesburg studios. Boys and girls, we ended off with type 4. If Sn equals 4n squared plus 4n, find the 8th term. And we said the method of attack, we're going to find S8. S8 is equal to 288. S7, I asked you before the break to continue, and I told you to get me the final answer. Remember what we said? We wanted the 8th term. So T8, what did we say? T8 is equal to S8 minus S7. So T8, the 8th term, is equal to S8, 288, minus S7. That's what I asked you to find out before the break. So S7 is equal to 4 into 7 squared is 49 plus 28. S7 is equal to 49 times 4 is 196 plus 28. S7 is equal to 196 plus 28 is 224. Therefore, we now go 288 minus 224. T8 is equal to 288 minus 224, 64. And there we go, guys. That is our final answer. T8 is equal to 64. How did we get it? We took S8 minus S7. If they gave you the Sn formula and they wanted you to find the 10th term, how would you do it? You take S10 minus S9. You take the sum of the full series minus the sum of one less, and that will give you its exact value. Just a reminder to all our viewers that you guys do know that we were running. Some of you might asking, why are we airing at this time? Remember, we were airing in Ramadan, Monday to Thursday. Remember that the times have changed. So for our new times, for the new airing times, please go on to itvnetworks.tv, check the new times for the K-Way show and follow the show. Remember, we were shooting four episodes per week. We are only now airing 2 episodes per week with a live show once a month. You want to know on what date is the live show? Please let us know. Another thing that we'd like to tell you, to all the viewers, for the live show, we'd like you to prepare your questions beforehand. So during all these shows, get all your questions. I want you to email. Some of you might be, we had this challenge through our live shows that sometimes a learner would pick up the phone and wouldn't know how to express it over the phone because the problem was so hectic. So now we do have a WhatsApp line. The WhatsApp number will come up in our next show, and we have our kwaymath@gmail.com. So you'll see our email address floating on at the bottom of your screen, kwaymath@gmail.com. Send us all your problems. We will then take your problems. Let us know who sent it so that we can put you also on show. We will then tell you in our live show. We will answer all your questions that have come up during the course of the month. So like I said, boys and girls, for our live show, which will be probably in 3 weeks' time, we're going to have a 2-hour live show. We want you to take all the questions that you have with regard to whatever we have done in all our previous episodes, and then we will answer all your questions. Now, those questions are not only for grade 12s, it's for grade 8, 9, 10, 11s, and 12s. So we want you to flood us with emails. Flood us with emails. We will have enough time to space it out, and we'll be able to give you your answers on show. Also, let us know, what are your comments about the show? What are your suggestions about the show? If you like our show, tell the world. If you don't like our show, only tell us. Don't tell anybody else. Okay, so we're now finishing up here with series. Let's now go on to the next question. We were on type number 4. We're now going on to type number 5. And this, guys, is going to close our show. Remember something? Our show is broken up into 4 segments. So please make sure. Our next show is going to deal with infinity and sigma notation. So please, guys, please stay focused and please stay tuned to ITV for our next show on infinity and sigma notation. Okay, let's go. This was type number 4. In fact, let's do this. Under series, let's kick off with the infinity segment already. Okay, let's go under infinity. If we have enough time today, we'll continue it. If not, it will blow over into the next show. Now, infinity, we know that we only get convergent and divergent. Let's see what the first type of a question. So type 1 in infinity. Type 1. You are finding the sum to infinity. Remember, you are finding the sum to infinity. This is type number 1. So if I told you 2 plus, let's take a common difference, a common ratio as a half. So 2 times a half. 2 times a half is 1. 1 times a half is a half. Half times a half is a quarter, plus ... going on to infinity. Now they don't need to put an infinity sign. They can just leave it like that. Now they will ask you 2 types of questions in this. Number 1, does the above series converge or diverge? And you've seen this. For those of you who have written Gauteng Department of Education, the National Common Paper, these types of questions came out. And the beauty part is, if these series of shows were aired before the June exams, I think we would have seen a much greater improvement in mathematics results in grade 12, because all these templates all came out in your June exam. Okay? Does the above series converge or diverge? And they ask you why. That's question number 1, and that's only a 2-mark question. And question number 2, find the sum to infinity. And that's worth another 3 marks. So 2 plus 3 will give you a total of 5 marks. There we go. Okay, that's the question. Let's go to our answer. Now, what did I tell you when I explained to you what is convergent and divergent when we did in our previous episodes? I said, to find out whether a series converges or diverges, very simple, just calculate R. Calculate your common ratio. Remember, I said infinity only deals with geometric. It does not deal with arithmetic at all. So you just need to find out geometric. Calculate your R. So it only deals with R. So what is R? So to answer question number 1, this is the answers. Answer to question number 1. Does the above series converge or diverge? Let's calculate R. R is equal to, we can take term 2 divided by term 1. So 1 divided by 2. 1 over 2. So R is equal to a half. We calculated R. What is R as an inequality? R is less than 1 but greater than minus 1. A half less than 1 greater than minus 1. So what is it? Does it converge or diverge? If R is a fraction, so I'm just going to put it here, for convergent, if R must be a fraction, it will converge. For divergent, R will be a whole number. What do we have R to be? R is a fraction. So what does it do? It converges. Therefore, the series converges because R less than 1, greater than minus 1. And there we go. You get your first 2 marks. Calculate R and then just say whether it converges or diverges, and you will answer it in the exam exactly the way we did it here. You can either do it like this, or you can calculate R to be a half, and now you can say, therefore, the series converges. That was the answer to your first part. Does it converge or diverge? Now let's answer why. Because R less than 1, greater than minus 1, a half less than 1, greater than minus 1. You calculated your R. R is a half. R is a fraction. It lies between -1 and 1. So therefore, it must be a convergent. What does convergent mean again? As we add more and more terms, the sum will move towards a number. Okay, that's the answer to question number 1. Find the sum to infinity. Question number 2. S to infinity is equal to, for convergent, let's just go here to the side. For convergent, what is the formula for convergent? For convergent, S to infinity is equal to A over 1 minus R. Okay, so there we go. A over 1 minus R. We've got A over 1 minus R. So what is A? Your first term, 2. Over 1 minus, what's your common ratio? Half. Which is equal to 2 divided by 1 minus a half is a half. 2 divided by a half is 4. And there we go. Our S to infinity, the sum to infinity is 4. Now again, sometimes they might ask you to do this part first. You'll get 4. Don't get confused if they ask you, does it converge or diverge? Don't look at that and say that is 4, therefore it diverges. No, you look at your common ratio. If R is less than 1 but greater than minus 1, it converges. Right? You look at your common ratio, you don't look at your sum. And boys and girls, that's bringing us now to the end of our first show. We will continue. Please stay tuned to our to ITV for our next show. The next show is going to deal with more involved problems regarding infinity, and we're going to be continuing with paper 2, circle geometry, in our preceding episodes. Remember, we still have finance to do. So just to wrap up our show, to remind the viewers of what we've done already, we've done quadratic equations, we've done inequalities, we've done calculus, we've done the whole of functions, all the different types of functions, straight line, parabola, hyperbola, exponential, log, how to sketch, how to determine equations. We've also done sequences and series. We've also done analytics, circle analytics. We've done a little bit of trigs in our live shows, but remember, stay tuned to our following episodes. We will still be coming to more detailed grade 11 and 12 trigonometry. Brothers and sisters, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this action-packed episode of K-Way Mathematics. Stay tuned to ITV, and remember, practice, 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 and we'll see you again in our next episode. From me, Mohammed Kota, your host and presenter here for the K-Way Math Show. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الأمجاد قد عظمت فللأمجاد بانيها ومن يسعى إلى العليا سيدركها بما فيها ويبني مجده جذلا فروح الفذ يعليها ليصبح همة تروي عن العليا